Kitagata chitab Kalenjin geton tetutiet nebo Kass Mashinani neitung'ete ketesiet notok po Kass TV en studio miten gane Victor Korir kitaunen logoiwek county nebo Nandi ole kakomwa nebo county notok Samson Cherargei kole wendi kotestai koboisie serikali ak chamaitab ODM en katuiyetab kee nebo broad based government ole kamwa kole mabo iman logoiwek chemwoe alage en upinzani kole ite let kosyinet nekiityi President Ruto ak chamait notok bo ODM yeit lewenisiet nebo 2027. Report notok ko kachobwech Cornelius Keter.
Kongololi en kanisetab Langas komwa MP nebo Kapseret Oscar Sudi koboto MCA nebo Rescos Amos Kiptanui kole makonyolu kotakibaorionji terchinosiek en kwenutab bororiosiek chemeng'isie en county noton nebo Uasin Gishu. Kongololi en kanisetab Langas komwa MP nebo Kapseret Oscar Sudi koboto MCA nebo Rescos Amos Kiptanui kole makonyolu kotakibaorionji terchinosiek en kwenutab bororiosiek chemeng'isie en county noton nebo Uasin Gishu.
Sisi wote ni kitu moja. Na hiyo nirudie kwa mwaka yote. Tuungane, tushikane.
Amuja misingitab Kalenjin notok ko report netinyegei ak ng'alalet nebo MP nebo Kapseret Oscar Sudi retestai kekonye kechobwe report notok po Samson Cherargei sikeibun yekakochobok report notok kobaten nguni kakonerekyi MP nebo Kapseret Oscar Sudi kandoikab polatet chetestai kobei biikab emet kobun oret nebo bororiondit nemwoe kole makomiten kasarta en biikab emet kokusikong anan kokochi kasubet kandoik cheu chotok.
Kongololi en kanisetab Langas komwa MP nebo Kapseret Oscar Sudi koboto MCA nebo Rescos Amos Kiptanui kole makonyolu kotakibaorionji terchinosiek en kwenutab bororiosiek chemeng'isie en county noton nebo Uasin Gishu.
Sisi wote ni kitu moja. Na hiyo nirudie kwa mwaka yote. Tuungane, tushikane, tupendane, tujue nchi yetu ni kubwa kuliko mtu binafsi. Tuache mambo ya ukabila, tuache mambo hii na tulete kisirani mingi, ukisimama unasema wewe nisikia leo mkiimba. Last time nilikuja hapa, nilikuwa naimba Kali, leo nisikia naimba Ngoro, naimba Kiluya, naimba Kikisi, naimba Kiluya, naimba Kikuyu, naimba Ndoyo. Hii kisirani nyingine hii inawaingia baadaye hapa ni nini?
Some kandoichotok biikab emet komeng'is en kalyet ak koistoegei kamuiset nekibaorionjin kasarwek chotok chekarikyi biretab kura.
Mimi nikiwa MCA wa Rescos ama Watamu, tunawakilisha kabila zote za Kenya, na nataka nishukuru kanisa hii kwa sababu katika uimbaji wenu mliona kabila karibu kabila yote. Ingawaje sikusikia lakini nyinyi wote ni wana. Bwana asifiwe. Lakini najua wakati mwingine mnaimbana. Kwa hivyo jambo ya muhimu ni kwamba tudumishe amani, tupendane. Siasa itakuja na itaisha. Ya muhimu ni amani ikuwe miongoni mwetu.
Rirtoi icheket kora kandoikab polatet akobo ng'alalutik ak kamuiset neibei biikab emet netokyingei koib suryet.
Kwa sababu tunaenda kuambia kwa mwaka ujao siasa itaanza kuanzia mwezi wa 6 kwenda huko mbele. Na niliwaambia na nitarudia tena. Isifike siku ya kura. Isifike siku ya kura. Ati wewe unafunga kitanda, mattress, mtoto, tunaenda Kisumu. Kila anafunga kitanda, ile Biblia ilikuwa sema nini? Ingine sikia nafunga nini? Anakisifia hapa. Sisi wote wake. Kuna kitu kwenye huko, pia kuna kwenye huko. Ujiulize maswali. Nikiwa Langas, nikiwa Rescos. Kama ninapata basi yangu hapa. Kama wazao wanasoma hapa. Kama wapata yangu ninapata hapa. Kanisa langu linaenda Langas. Ni nini ikifika siku ya kura unataka kwenda safari? Hiyo nataka kuombe kwa heshima kubwa. Na niwatangazie hakuna siku nchi ya Kenya watapigana tena kwa sababu ya siasa hizi. Tunashindana kisiasa, wewe tushindane kisiasa, wewe sema yako kila mtu asema yake. lakini usihubiri mambo ya kupiganisha wananchi.
Kong'eteke taonitab Eldoret eng county nebo Uasin Gishu, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyin ko Isaac Kogei.
Kakokoito anan kikoito kurset en biikab emet nebo komongei ak korutechi kibagenge nebo Unclaimed Assets Authority asikomuch konai angot komiten chepkondok anan ko mogornotet nenywan nemiten en kibagenge noton komo director nebo kibagenge noton CPA Rono Bernard kole miten chongindab rabinik ak mogornotet nemiten en eunekab kibagenge noton netomo kenai biik chebo ako noton komagat kokoito biikab emet logoiwek chetinyegei ak mogornotet agetugul neimuch kotindoi kibagenge noton en eunekwak asikong'er kibagenge noton kokoito rabinik choton anan mogornotet noton koityi biik chenyolu.
Nenyun ko CPA Benson Rono and our director nebo Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority ko kikito serikali asiko collectan akoyum rabinik chebo biik che kikobakakta rabinik ako rib rabinik choton ako cheng kora biik chebo rabinik choton. Kimi reu ko kemoche kesom biik chok kobwa konyoko cheken rabinik choton chekitindoi chemuch ko chechwak anan kobo biik chechwak chekikobakaktech. Tun en tarikit 15 akoi tarikit 19 kemiten Uhuru Garden en Kericho County. Kimoche keker kele kakityi biik chechang, biik chekitindoi rabinik chwak konyoko komuch konyor rabinik choton. Tun en betut noton kemokyinigei ID nebo chito noton nebo rabinik choton, mokyinigei kot ko chito nekikosirto komoche death certificate ak angot ko kikotwoisi family succession kemokyinigei certificate of grant. Ako tun kora ko moche kemwa kele angot ko metinye document inyon asikeswee nekimuche ketoretiten amun imuch ko kimokirib documents choton ako ingen ile imuch komi rabinik chebo chito nekikobakaktech. So amoche atach biikab Kericho, biikab Bomet, biikab olombo Rift Valley ongebwan keker kele kakinyorchigei rabinik. Kale ngoma early Christmas inyoru rabinik che kimeibwoti ile kikabakakta baba anan ko mama ne kingosirto. Nibuch ko moche amwa kole yok kiteseta keyoe kasit kimoche keker kele kiyochi imanit biikab emet ak kesome akot biik alak stakeholders chechok. Saidi en Kericho ko kasome directors chechok kole angot ko tomo kikochi temik chebo chaik shares amun angen ale tam akere kingeteche factories ko kicontributen temik en teketab factory konyolu kikochi temik choton share certificate asikimuch akotindo bitu ng'al cheuchu kokaktech temik choton ko nyolu konyor haki nenywan. Ndatun kimuche kelisten KTDA koik public company anan ko kotestai temik choton koik owners chebo factories chekitindoi asi komait wakati nekilelen matindo temik shares ako kikocontributen kingeteche factories choton. Nibuch ko amache atachak ko a director nebo Unclaimed Financial Assets ale karibuni Uhuru Gardens Kericho en tarikit 15 akoi tarikit 19 kong'eten saa 2 nebo asubuhi akoi saa 11 nebo jioni. Karibu sana ako tunomi yoto akot itinye swali age tugul ami yoto asi anyatoret. Nibuch kongoi missing sikobirure Jehova.
Katestai kobitu terchinoshek en kwenutab MPs chebo county nebo Baringo ole kamwa MP nebo Baringo North Joseph Maglap kole magat kobit kondit en kwenutab MPs tugul chebo county nebo Baringo. Kamwa kondit choton kole kotaibet chamaitab UDA ng'echeret noton nebo senator en lewenishet neming'in nekokiyai konekit kosubkei ak terchinoshek cheu choton kole moche koit let terchinet age tugul asikotestai boisionik.
We are the senior most members of parliament in that parliament. Na bado kuna watu wako na shida na sisi. Bado kuna watu wako na shida na Sirma. Ati tunaambiwa siku hizi ati kuna watu wameanza kupima ati age limit. Ati age limit 2027 age fulani wakongwe waende nyumbani. Wewe nani anapanga hii dunia? Si ni wazee? Alafu vijana wanakuja pole pole. Nyinyi watu wengine ati mnataka kupimia watu hewa. Watu wenye wanapimia watu hewa ni raia ambao walichagua sisi. Hawa ndio wataamua ni nani atarudi, ni nani. Kwani kama mjumbe wenu maklabu, kama ni mtu mbaya, ni nyinyi wenyewe mtaweka mahali mbaya kwa kiti. Kama namna gani? Kama maklabu ni mtu mzuri, si nyinyi ndio mtaweka mazuri. Si nyinyi ndio mnachagua. Ngonga anakuja chagulia nyinyi mtu yenu. Hapana. Kwa hivyo anataka tuombe tuseme heshima idumu.
Mimi sitaki tuitwe majina. We don't want what is called community profiling. So, huyu ndio chairman yetu. What ya Lemara Bin? This is the chairman of members of parliament. Unaona anaongea na waziri ya interior. Na wewe unafikiria hatujasema haifiki, hatujakuna munge. Let me tell you my friend, kama umekula umechaa tumbo usitabikie watu mguu. Wewe Sirma ni ya wa chairman. Sio ati atufiki rais. Lakini because of order it is you. And if you are young, usipiga wasee kwa sababu kuna wakati kina Sirma na kina Bishop walikuwa wadogo. Na wako wanataka wa grow. But who are you? Si you grown. So kama wewe ni mdogo, ujue pia kuna wakati yako ya kunini? Na kama wewe ni mzee, ujue kuna wakati ulikuwa nini? So tuheshimiane. Tuheshimiane hapo. Na ukikuwa kiongozi, hautakuwa kiongozi ya vijana. When you become a member of parliament, you will not become a member of parliament for the youth or for the wase. You will become the member of parliament for Christians, for non-Christians, for wase, for wagonjwa.
Kuna watu ambao wanataka tu kuchochea kila mahali, kila mtu anaangalia mambo ya 2032, mambo ya nini, hadi 27 kuna watu wanatakiwa waende nyumbani na wengine wabaki. Nani alisema hivyo? Uchaguzi ni vile raia wanasema. Au aje? Iko njia nyingine ya kuchagua mtu.
Juzi tumekuwa na uchaguzi mdogo wa kuchagua kiti ya senator. Na mimi najua kulikuwa na ushindani mkubwa sana hasa wakati wa nomination. Na jinsi hiyo siasa ilifanywa, sisi hatukupiga kura, tulikuwa tunaona tu. Na pia tulikuwa tunawasikia. Kidogo kulikuwa na maneno ambayo iko inaenda sawa sawa, jinsi hiyo siasa ilipelekwa. Majina mnaitana, kidogo hasira yenu karibu iende juu. Sasa ya mwisho tulikuwa tumestuka sasa. Tukipoteza hii kiti ya Senate ya Baringo kama chama tawala ya UDA itakuaje? Na mnaona tulikuwa tunang'ang'ana mbele, kule Malafa tulikuwa tunang'ang'ana na sote tukaleta. Nataka niwashukuru kwa kuheshimu William Ruto na kutuheshimu kutupatia hii kiti. Ninyi ni watu wangwana sana.
Chitab Kalenjin testai logoiwek kokakokoito somet minister nebo ribetab kalyet en emet orit Kipchumba Murkomen koityi sigikab emoni kosochi ak korib lagok asikonyor sobet nekararan. Kong'ololi en tuyet nebo chepyosok nebo kanisetab RCEA nemiten Kitengela lekomwa Murkomen kole en kasari testai kowolokse teknolojia anan muswoknotet en emotinwek chebo ng'wony konyolu kerib lagok ak kinet sirutik chetililen asimanam atebosiek chemanyolu cheimuch kong'em sobonwekwak.
And I really want to encourage wamama wenye wako hapa. Mkienda nyumbani, and especially of my generation and below, it is time we invest in our children, invest them in family values, in the way of faith, in traditions that can last forever, and ingrain in them faith that can be inherited for generations. That people can say, huyu ni mtoto wa Jane, sunaona huyu mtoto anakaa kama mtoto wa Jane, hiyo ni mtoto ya hiyo familia ya David, sunaona hiyo familia wanakaa namna hii, hiyo ni mtoto wa familia fulani, because ile values umeingrain kwa our children. I am saying this because just beside being a Christian, I am your cabinet secretary for matter security. And the challenges we are facing with young people are enormous, ni mingi. Lakini we can solve these problems from the root, and the root is the family. Tuko pamoja? Please, Don't hand over your children to teachers. Don't hand over your children to Sunday school. Don't hand over your children to pastor. Take personal responsibility as a parent to make sure that your children grow in the ways of faith. You know? Unajua, again, the last thing, in this generation yetu, kidogo mtoto akisumbua, ashike simu acheze naye. Ndio ukue busy. Sina mnayo? Ama kwa nyumba tuko wote, kila mtu wako WhatsApp. Hey, tuko mama ako TikTok, watoto wako TikTok. Huh? So eventually, children are raising themselves the way they know best using their phones. There is nothing that can replace personal attention to your children. There is nothing that can replace that. Mimi hata mwenye niko very busy, at least niko lucky, bibi yangu aliwacha kazi, akasema wacha nikae na watoto. So me I have to work double, ndio ni support bibi, na ni support watoto, because they are helping me to make sure that there is someone who is looking after the kids all the time. So even you as mothers, create as much time. I know you are busy, nyinyi ni walimu, wengine wanafanya kazi wapi nini, but I really want to say that we want to see more Lois, we must see more Eunice among us, and let us grow Timothys in our republic. Sinamna hiyo? We want to see more Timothys, where now the Pauls, hawa ni kina Paul wako hapa, pastor, reverend, moderator, hawa ni Paul. Hawa ndio sasa wanaenda kutake over. Lakini Paul akienda kukutana na Timothy mtoto yako, akuwa anakutana kama wewe umemsongesha imefika mahali fulani. Sasa Paul akienda kusema, anasema, that faith I saw in you, that first started with your grandmother Lois and went to your mother Eunice, and it lives in you. Na akambia uashie moto kabisa isiwahi kuzama, iendelee kuendelea. The last thing, let's talk to our kids. Write letters to them, like Paul wrote to Timothy. Yeah? May not be a letter, it may be a phone call, it may be something. Squeezy. Sio kama siku zile. When I came to school, my father doesn't even know na mother nilikuja kufanya nini Nairobi. Wanakuleta Nairobi, wanangojea graduation. After 4th year, they know for sure. Mwaka ine ikiisha, tunaenda nini? Na it is true. After 4 years, wakaenda graduation. Lakini siku hizi bado yuko namna hiyo kweli? Lazima uulize mtoto exam ilikuwa nini, cut ilikuwa nini. Hata wazazi siku hizi wameshajua umemaliza, ulifanya hiyo mtihani, umeenda the next class, umefanya nini. Let's make sure that we track the progress of our kids. Let me say this. Usually when they come to college here, na wazazi wamezao hawa, you know, hakuna mtu anaongelesha. Unapata wanaenda parties, wanaenda kukunywa pombe, wanavuta bangi, wanaenda mambo ingine. And then we are losing so many young people kwa either suicide or overdose ya drugs, because nobody has been focusing on training what they are doing and so forth. Let us continue tracking our kids, you know, looking their progress, talking to them, asking how they are doing. Tusisahau tuseme ni mtu mkubwa ameenda huko. This is not the generation some of us grew up. It is a generation that needs consistent and constant monitoring.
Agagoitaba Samet Principal Secretary nebo Tilinda nebo Boror and Public Health Mary Modoni gotibiga bemoni koribenge ametab amitwogik chemanyalu cheu banyek chemakichikil eng kasari kitokchingei igorta nebo Christmas ak toksetab kenyit nelel. Kama Modoni kole miten kerichek chemaititootin che kealdoi en emoni ole nyalu en biikab emet koba sipitali kasarta nekamionso nekatoole kerichek en dukosiek.
Kongalaldos eng igortab sautik ak kawektaetab kongoi nebo ribiikab kalyet chebo county nebo Nandi nekatestai eng kanisetab ACK St Barnabas Pro Cathedral Kapsabet, komwa CEO nebo National Police Service Commission Peter Lelei kole tesetai serikali ak tetutik chetokyingei koro kole karibok ribiikab kalyet koboto koro kole kakisuldae magutikwak cheboto tesetab melekwek asikosuldae boisionikwak eng oret neititaat.
Serikali ina matarajio ya kuongeza maradufu kikosi hii kabla ya between now and 2027. Tungetakana kama si changamoto ya budget tungekuwa tumeongeza, tungeajiri 25,000, lakini tayari tumechukua 10 na serikali iko na mipango ya kuchukua ingine na ingine. Serikali hii ya Rais Daktari William Samoei Arap Ruto ameiweka kipaumbele nambari 1 maslahi ya askari. Kuna mambo ambayo tunafanya ambayo sitaki kusema hapa, mambo ya kureview allowances zenu zile za huko nje, huko msituni, na allowances za kawaida na promotion yenu na welfare yenu. Sisi tuko hapo na sio nyinyi peke yenu. Serikali hii hata kama uchumi ulikuwa mbaya, for the last 3 years we have tried to improve their
en kasarata komwa gavana nebo county nebo Nandi kole nyolu kisuldae report nebo jukwaa la usalama kosubkei ak netindoi keret koboto magutik tugul chebo ofisaekab ripsetab kalyet
wakati wa jukwaa la usalama. Na nimesikia juzi wakati wamezindua hiyo report, a lot of the concerns that you raised as security team across the 47 counties was combined into a report, and already implementation process is starting. And we hope and believe that the national government will implement that report to the fullest, so that you create a good environment for our men and women in uniform to work in an environment that is conducive, so that they can be able to deliver services for the benefit and prosperity of our people and our nation.
I know many times when you see what happens on media, you can give up, because people only talk about the security agencies when there's a crisis, but they don't talk about the many good things that you do on behalf of our country. We want to tell you we appreciate you and we appreciate your service.
Na mimi nataka kuomba the security team na sisi kama serikali, together with the church, we must start a serious campaign around the fight against substance abuse, alcoholism and drugs in our society. And any member of the society, wale ambao wanatumia nafasi ya kuuza madawa pamoja na pombe haramu, kuuzia watoto wetu kwa sababu ya faida, we want to tell them that is not a blessed business.
Kongete taunitab Kapsabet en county nebo Nandi, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Cornelius Keter.
Angono chitab kalenjin maitokyingei county nebo Nandi kora, ole kitokchinigei bunge noto nebo County Assembly nebo Nandi, ole konyoru ngalalet netestai en nguni nebo State of the County Address, ole aroru governor nebo county nebo Nandi Stephen Sang akobo tetutik chetestai kosuldaen serikalinyin chetokchingei koib bandab tai ak walet en county noto bo Nandi.
And staff it soonest. Honorable members, I invite this August House to visit this mother and child hospital in Kapsabet, so that you are able to appreciate the progress that we have made as a county. While, Mr. Speaker, we have made remarkable progress in this critical sector, we are committed to further expand and improve the healthcare service provision, aligning our programs with the universal health care members. Agriculture remains the backbone of our economy, and the value addition infrastructure. These interventions and an aggressive rollout of field days across all the sub-counties have expanded opportunities for farmers and enhanced enterprise growth across our major value chains. Mr. Speaker, under the Agriculture Directorate, dairy productivity has risen significantly, with yields increasing from 4.5 to 7.5 liters per cow per day, contributing to Kenya shillings 3.9 billion annually to our farmers. This improvement is attributed to, among others, the county's extensive support program on supply of fodder and pasture seeds, farmer field days, and demonstration farms, and the training of over 35,000 dairy farmers at Kaimosi Agricultural Training Center in modern dairy husbandry and climate-smart practices. Nandi's cooperative movement continues to thrive, bringing together over 40 primary cooperatives under Nandi Dairy Cooperative Union, NDCU, with the 10 newly activated ones now delivering milk straight from our farmers. The Nandi County Creameries, NCC, has already undergone successful technical as preparations for full commercial which are now being fitted with equipment including solar-powered coolers in partnership with the national government. Mr. Speaker, animal health investments over the last 3 years total approximately Kenya shillings 180 million, covering 157,781 vaccinations against FMD, lumpy skin disease, black quarter, anthrax, and rabies. The county has rehabilitated more than 120 cattle dips, supplied over 2,000 liters of acaricides, and advanced genetic improvement through over 60,000 artificial inseminations, thus strengthening the herd health and the resilience of our animals in our county. Mr. Speaker, coffee farming in Nandi continues to grow, with more than 8 million seedlings distributed over the last 7 years. This support has helped increase and raise production from 3,800 to 11,250 tons of cherry, now valued at Kenya shillings 1.25 billion annually. Mr. Speaker, today, organized farmers are earning between Kenya shillings 100 to 116 per kilo of cherry through over 100 active coffee cooperative societies under the Nandi Coffee Cooperative Union, NCCU. Market access has also been improved through the establishment of the Nandi Coffee Union brokerage firm or company, which enables our farmers to sell directly to the Nairobi Coffee Exchange, hence securing better prices. Mr. Speaker, value addition through the fully operational Chebonet coffee milling plant continues in earnest. The ongoing field days targeting more farmers is expected to triple our production within the next 2 years. Mr. Speaker, in horticulture, the county has distributed over 300,000 avocado seedlings, fueling expansion supported by the operational Lolduga Avocado Packhouse, which offers grading, sorting, and cold chain handling. Irish potato production continues to grow through certified seed distribution, apical cutting technology, and farmer field days across our sub-counties. Mr. Speaker, sugarcane and tea farmers continue to benefit from the Kenya shillings 350 million tea and sugar feeder road improvement program, which has upgraded and maintained over 1,000 kilometers of rural roads, improving the movement of cane and green leaf to factories and reducing the transport losses. The poultry sector has expanded through word-based circles.
Chitab Kalenjin kakochobok report nebo Monen tai netinyegei ak ng'alalet nebo Senator nebo county nebo Nandi Samson Cherargei nemwoe kole tesetai komosta nebo Kenya Kwanza koboisie kibagenge ak komosta nebo ODM en broad-based government ako mabo iman ng'alek chemwoe alak en kandoik chebo United Opposition kole magat koit let koyonchinet nekiityi ODM ak Kenya Kwanza en lewenisiet anan yeite lewenisiet nebo 2027. Report ko nebo Cornelius Keter.
Kosubkei ak Senator nebo county nebo Nandi Samson Cherargei kotesetai koboisie serikali ak ODM eng ng'ony nebo broad-based government akoi kowong kandoinatenyi President William Arap Ruto ole kaesio ng'alaletab alak eng kandoik chemite eng opposition chemwoe kole itelet koshinet nekiityin President Ruto koboto chamait nebo ODM.
Wale wapinzani wa rais hawa tutawafukuza asubuhi na mapema, hawana agenda. Ule Kalonzo niliona jana akijaribu kusema ODM ikae broad base mpaka 2027. ODM na UDA, na nataka niseme hapa nikiwa nyumbani, tushaandikishana coalition ambaye itaenda beyond 2027 tukifanya kazi under broad based government between UDA, Kenya Kwanza na ODM mpaka milele. So ile mambo Kalonzo anafanya ni kama kufuata binadamu, kama fisi anafuata binadamu, anaona mkono ikimove anafikiri itaanguka ndio akule. Tunaambia Kalonzo ana lake, na tulimwacha akikaa kwa kiti anatembea na ule jamaa wa chuki. Ule tulimfukuza kazi, ule jamaa tulimuimpeach. Na mimi nataka niwaambie wa Kenya, huyo jamaa tulimuimpeach, ule alikuwa naibu wa rais. Ukikuwa impeach, kwa sababu mimi ni wakili, wewe atakuwa chairman ya mazishi, so hata asiwadanganye kwa sababu hakuna penye anaenda. Ule Wamalwa hakuna penye anaenda. Kwanza Matiangi anatakana kutuambia sisi kwa nini vijana wetu waliuawa na kuwekwa River Yala. Lazima ajibu hiyo maswali. Mbona watu wetu waliuawa wakaeka tank? Mbona alisima media stations? Mbona alidisobey court orders? Ameleta pesa ya kujenga mabarabara, mambo ya maji na mambo ya SHA. Na tunataka tushukuru rais. Wale wapinzani wake walikuwa wamesema ati Rais William Ruto hawezi enda kuona Trump. Si waliaibika? Sasa hii nasikia watoke kwa manyumba. Waliona kwa view sasa sukari ikaenda juu, majani chini, chumvi katikati, kwa sababu ameshtuka kwa sababu kuona rais pale Marekani.
Kasom Cherargei kibagengeitab lewenisiet nebo IEBC kotes kasarta nebo siretab birikab kura asikomuch kosirgei chongindab neranik koek birikab kura.
Nataka niulize IEBC wa extend ile period watu wetu wajiandikishe kwa mambo ya kura. Na nafikiri hiyo ndio muhimu, ndio vijana ambao wako holiday waweze, kwa sababu wa vijana wetu wengi wako university na colleges, wapate nafasi waende wajiandikishe wakuwa wapigaji kura.
Eng komastanyi komwa secretary nebo irrigation Joel Tanui kole tindoi tetutiet serikali nebo kwa irrigation nebo mbaret ekaisiek million 2.5 asikochuchuch amitwogik chekiibu eng emotinwekab sang. Ole kale eng nguni koboisie serikali chepkondok billion 500 eng aletab amitwogik kobun emotinwekab sang.
Nogo kole His Excellency the President kimeche kinde 2.5 million acres under irrigation eng emoni sikobit kisalishan chakula cheyome koba emoni sikereduce kit nekile imports. Serikali kiboisie sahi billion 500 billion kila kenyit keimporteni chakula chekiboe emoni nyonet. Kou kole His Excellency makonyolu takeboishe rabinik chetecho keimporten chakula. Nguno kemi keborye dams kokas kitinye 50 mega dams chekimi keteche sahi chekimeche ketech. Kotko ngipoite 2032 koboishe 50 mega dams ing emoni ako kakinde 2.5 million acres ing emoni chebo irrigation.
Kong'ete taonitab Kapsabet eng county nebo Nandi, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Cornel
100 billion. Kila kenyit keimporteni chakula chekiboe emoni nyonet. Kou kole His Excellency makonyolu takeboishe rabinik chetecho keimporten chakula. Nguno kemi keborye dams kokas kitinye 50 mega dams chekimi keteche sahi chekimeche ketech. Kotko ngipoite 2032 koboishe 50 mega dams ing emoni ako kakinde 2.5 million acres ing emoni chebo irrigation.
Kong'ete taonitab Kapsabet eng county nebo Nandi, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Cornelius Keter.
Nguno ketokchinigei county nebo Uasin Gishu ole testai igorto noto bo boiboiyet nekiboiboichin bitonwek chebo bororiosiek cheterter chebo emetab Kenya netestai eng taonitab Eldoret. Ole taonit nebo kondit eng betutab rani ko rubeiwotab President Professor Kithure Kindiki nemiten ko nekit kong'alalen komosato kobaten nguni kong'ololi Governor nebo Uasin Gishu noto ko Jonathan B namache ketokchingei yoto kenyoru ng'alalenyin ak kekeny kora ng'alalet noto bo Professor Kindiki.
Another project that is going on in our county, which is headed by the national government, is affordable housing units, which are almost complete. We have almost 10,000 units coming up in our city here, and it is going to change the face of this city. The only problem we have, and we are envisioning, is we might not have enough water to cater for these people, because we are anticipating more than 100,000 people to migrate from the rural areas to the urban. So we'll ask you, Your Excellency, to see how you can intervene with the Ministry of Water so that they can, help the counties, especially our county, to mitigate on that issue. Again, there's an ongoing project which is extraordinary, I think, in Kenya, our ultra-modern market, which is coming up. It was launched by the President. It is 8th floor and some other floors going down there. We want to ask you that we fast track on it, and we are grateful to the President for giving us the chance to do such a project. Kipchoge Stadium is ongoing, and for stadium, the PS the other day confirmed to us that it is going to be started. The problem with these contractors, when they come, they look good, but when they are there, they change their mind and they disturb all of us. So it really delayed us a bit, but I'm very sure going back on it. So we have to make sure that we perform and we deliver. To our farmers, Your Excellency, this farmers, do not sell your maize anyhow to these dealers or these middlemen, because we are expecting the price to stabilize. So wakulima na waomba kuja inakuja. Kwa hivyo tuweke ili bei ikuje juu so that we can appreciate what the government has done for us. And finally, Your Excellency, is just a request that expired insurance, I didn't tell you before, but we have a problem with the Moi Barracks and the residents around there, a farm called 9 Farms. The president had given an order. We expired and we complete the processing of title deeds so that it becomes a Christmas gift for those people. And I'm very sure, Your Excellency, will take it up so that these people might also feel good and feel that they belong. And again, we want to appreciate Moi Girls High School, the school that has given us a big name. It is a landmark school. So many great ladies in Kenya went through this school, including the wife of the immediate former Prime Minister, Ida Odinga, and she was telling us that she was in this school and she would wish to come and do some CSR for the school. But alongside that, we have the construction of the new library. The library was there, but it was condemned because either of age or the structurally was not good. I want to ask you, Your Excellency, that you talk to the peers of education, because he was telling us his budget is 700 billion. And the last time the building, there is a new building here, a modern building, a multipurpose hall. It was built by the former PS Bellion. So let him also make a mark. I know you read a book, I know you read so many books, but one John Maxwell said, until you leave a mark, you have not passed this place. So I want you also to leave a mark here by making a pronouncement about that library. And years ago, 1994, Mrs. Cherambos, the former principal and the chair of the board, who was President Moi then, contracted me to organize that library. And I'm very sure it was in very good shape until they declared it, it was condemned. So I will ask you, sir, that please take it up, make a pronouncement here. Let us see what is going to happen, because I know you love education, you are a lecturer before, and you know what libraries can do and resource centers can do. And again, to our city. And you are once again welcome to our city, a city full of promise, a potential city. During the current festivities, we are good to hosting the Kenya Music Festival, and we had about over 120 human beings in this county. I don't know why they slept, but they all slept for about how many days? They were just here, and here 20,000, and we are hosting them. So was in Gishu, we have the capacity to host any kind of meeting. And until last year, 2023, I realized that the Indian community, the Asian community, I thought it was just one tribe. I realized there are many tribes. We have 13 tribes of sub-tribes of India. It is only culture that distinguishes you from the rest of the people. Once again, allow me, Your Excellency, to say thank you very much for visiting us. I will welcome our good PS Umi to welcome the CS, and then the CS will continue with the protocol. Asanteni sana, tunakushukuru sana Umi. The other day when you went to Kapkugo, I stood in for you, so I was... My team from the county assembly, the CECs and the directors, please stand up, face the people, and just wave. No talking, kindly. These are the county ministers. This is a very serious government. Thank you very much. We supported this thing seriously, and our hearts are in this cultural event. Again, we have our county assembly being led by the Honorable Speaker and the leader of majority. Your Excellency, you know these are your friends. And I know in your calendar, you have put a date with these people like you did last year, and the reason why they are here is they are hoping that you'll say come again to salamiane. In the wakati ya handshake, once festivities kama hizi, it is a good thing for politicians. Asanteni sana with the clarion call wa mutende. Yesterday, we were empowering some artists, and everybody was singing Wamutende, Wamutende, that if you don't mention Wamutende, you might be a one-time fellow. So let me also say Wamutende, 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 karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Governor. To save on time, I'd like now to welcome my CS, Madam Hannah Windo Cheptumo.
Thank you very much. The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, the Governor of Uasin Gishu County, the Governor of Kericho County, the County Commissioner, my PS, Madam Umi Bashir, the leadership and the members of the great county of Uasin Gishu. I can see you, my brother from Kass FM, all invited guests. Good afternoon. Wamune. Good mami salamu goron. Wamune. Bas. Foremost to thank God for the opportunity that He has given us to be here together as Kenyans, Black Kenyans, Black Indians, all of us who are here today. We want to thank God for being here. I want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency, the Deputy President, for gracing this occasion. For sure, as they have said, if there has never been a person of that level up to today, there is every reason to be grateful to you, to your leadership, and also to the leadership of the county for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to be here. As the Minister for Gender, Culture, and Children's Services, we pride ourselves as the Ministry for Family. We are the ones who deal with the women and their husbands. We deal with the children in a good culture. We are the ones who are speaking against negative culture that is marrying off our girls at a very early age, not giving them an opportunity to choose a person they love. They are being told you are supposed to be here because of cows and the rest. So we are every day talking, using every means to speak to the masses and say, let every person be given an opportunity to choose and to do what they think is right. As Ministry for Gender, you know that we have had issues to do with the femicide, GBV, including femicide. But what we have discovered as we sit together with the 3 PSS is that we can actually use culture to speak about the negative things which are happening in our society. No wonder today you saw all these performances. They spoke about health in the language that they understand most. They speak about affordable housing. They speak about agriculture. They speak about peace and security. Therefore, culture is the one that can speak to development projects which are happening in our country. So we want to thank you, thank His Excellency the President and the Presidency for the good work that you are doing. We will continue speaking and want to ask the county governments that we are ready. Work with us. Give us your program so that we can bring the experts. We have experts in our ministry who can be able to align those issues. And even if you have your own personal projects that you are doing at the county level, give us. We were able to use the art to speak in the language that the masses will understand, so that you don't have to struggle to pass the same message that we are beginning from the top up to the bottom. Lastly, Your Excellency, I am standing here as a proud parent of this school. I'm here. I have sat on this compound many times. My daughter was in this school. And I want to thank this school for the great work that they did. She was here. She was an artist. She was playing trumpet. She was able to go to the US for 1 month to be able to play at the Hudson University. So this art begins at the very bottom. It begins uko kwa chekechea na inaenda until you become somebody. She was able to do very well. In fact, she scored a first class. So it doesn't mean that when you are doing arts, you cannot do anything. You can play arts, play games, and still be a professor like our deputy president. Lastly, the very last, I was married by a politician, so saa zingine najipata nikifanya campaign. Allow me to thank you, Your Excellency, for stepping in a very special way when we were looking for the Senator of Baringo County, we were looking for the MP of Uko kwa Kinaruku. You did very well. You used all what you had, negotiation skills, you used the arts, you used your education, your office, and finally, as UDA, we became the best. Thank you, Your Excellency. I sit in the cabinet where he chairs, and he chairs meetings almost throughout the day. He never gets late. He never postpones any meeting. I always look at him and say, if I was to go back again, I think I want to be Wamudende area. Yes, because when you are given a job and you do it very well, the whole country celebrates. So thank you very much for supporting His Excellency the President. We will support you as your ministers. We will do everything possible. We will speak all the programs of the government so that by the year 2027, you will just be saying Wamudende, 2 term. So thank you very much. Allow me just to ask all of us to stand so that we can welcome His Excellency the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
Vende. Noma si noma. Sifaya sifaya.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Salala, kumbe tulikuwa wengi hivi. Ni fire si fire. Ni noma si noma. Asanteni sana viongozi wote ambao wako hapa, waziri wetu dadangu Hana, Mrs. Cheptumo, magavana kiwemo ndugu zangu Governor Chelilim na Governor Mutai, PS wetu, my sister Umi, wabunge, iko Joseph hapa ambaye niliacha hii town miaka mingi iliyopita, na mbunge wangu wako area anaitwa Mheshimiwa Ruto, mbunge wa Keses, my local MP, na viongozi wote ambao wako hapa, leaders wa Uasin Gishu, viongozi ambao wanasimamia the Kenya Music and Cultural Festival, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Nimefurahi sana kurudi hapa Eldoret. Wale ambao hawakusikia, mimi nilikuwa mtu ya town hii. Niliishi hapa kama miaka 8 kiwa kijana, najua sehemu zote za town hii. Nilifanya mambo mengi hapa. So ukiona nasumbuliwa hapa, mjue labda ni ile madeni niliacha hapa. Sababu sasa siku hiyo nilikuwa kijana. Lakini nilikuwa kijana mzuri. Nimesikia huyu governor akisema ile kazi tulikuwa tunafanya. Na nimefurahi sana kurudi Eldoret. Eldoret is a special town for me because this is where I started my career, and even my first child was born in this town at UG Memorial Hospital. And I wish she was around, I would have brought her with me. Kinyako safari kidogo. She's now grown up. So it's always a pleasure to be back in Eldoret. Eldoret is home for me. Eldoret ni nyumbani. Mimi nataka nishukuru Wizara ya Mambo ya Utamaduni turathi za taifa na mambo ya sanaa, jinsia na usawa kwa maandalizi mema ambayo wamefanya mambo ya hii hafla. Mheshimiwa Rais alikuwa akuje yeye mwenyewe, lakini kama mnavyojua alikuwa na safari, alafu hakuweza kufika in good time to be able to attend. Kaniambia jana usiku nikuje leo asubuhi nimwakilishe, kwa sababu mmesema hii ndio mara ya kwanza ofisi ya Rais kuwakilishwa. Nataka niwahakikishie kwamba nikirudi nitamwambia ya kwamba mmesema next year akuje yeye in person. Therefore, part of my duty kama msaidizi wa Rais ni kwenda kumsukuma kuhakikisha kwamba next year akuje yeye mwenyewe, mimi nitakuja nikimsindikisha. Sitaki kurudia yale yamesemwa hapa, lakini it's important to realize the place of music and culture in our nation building. And most of us here, especially those of us who are older, parents, and even the young people who are here, you know very well that our country is facing a lot of challenges on the social and family space. Because of new technologies and exposure to the internet, many of our children seems to be carried away progressively from the foundations on which our country and our nation was established. Many of our children today do not have much respect for our traditions and culture. They have no role, or they have very little respect for elders and very little respect for the community and its traditions. Therefore, we must work hard to recover the foundations of our nation. And I want to make it clear that language and culture are the strongest form of identity that you can ever have. Language and culture is stronger than any education you can get anywhere. Language and culture is stronger than any profession or any career. The stability of the human person, if you want to be a human being who is solid and anchored, that anchorage is found in your identity, and your identity is in your language and in your culture. Ndio Waswahili wakasema mwacha mila ni mtumwa. Any person who abandons culture is a slave and has no identity. That is why those who wrote our Constitution carefully inserted language and culture in the very early provisions of our Constitution. Just immediately after the preamble of our Constitution and the bedrock constitutional principles that appear there, language and culture comes very early. Kiangalia vile katiba yetu imeundwa, mambo yale muhimu katika katiba yanakuja pale mbele. The description of our country, the territory of our country, the constitution of our country and the 47 counties. Immediately after that, in Article 7, you discover it talks about need for the state to protect languages. English and Kiswahili are official languages, and immediately below there, our indigenous Kenyan languages are recognized and the state Kenyan languages. That is Article 7, and you find the state again given the duty to promote cultural expression of all the people of Kenya in their communities and in their various identities. That Article 11 on cultural expression, and cultural expression is through music, it's through language, it's through arts and other performances. It's preceded by Article 10, which has our national values and principles of governance: patriotism, national unity, respect for human rights and human dignity, equality, etc., etc. So if you look at our Constitution, the first 10 or so, 11 articles, before you go to the Bill of Rights, those are the foundational principles upon which our nation is founded. And among those foundational principles, language, identity, culture is part and parcel of the foundational principles of our republic. Therefore, brothers and sisters, as we build our nation, we must look at the nation building projects from two perspectives. We have to build a solid, resilient, long-term nation that survives all manner of shocks, social shocks, political shocks, environmental shocks, including climate change. We must build this nation, first, the hardware of the nation. What is the hardware of the nation? The roads, the railways, connecting us with electricity and water and internet, the things that define the modern world. We must up our game. And you have heard the president saying, we have done quite a bit in the last 60 years to build our country. We have built 22,000 kilometers of roads, but these are not enough if we have to be a modern country. We have connected 10,600 households with electricity out of the 10,600,000 households are today connected with electricity, making Kenya one of the most connected countries in Africa at 75% connectivity with electricity. Some of the African countries are at 11%. We are left only with slightly under 5 million households, about 4 million households actually. And we'll get universal connectivity by the year 2030 in accordance with Vision 2030. We've made strides to provide water. But you have heard the president say the speed of our nation building, the speed of building the hardware for our country is very slow. That's why he has said we look for innovative ways of looking for resources to build more roads, to provide more water, to provide more electricity, and also to encourage manufacturing to create enough jobs for our young people. That is how we build the hardware of our country. You have seen the president launch the Rironi Mau Summit Road, during that road, which is going to be a signature project for this government. And the president has said by 2027, in the next 2 years, that section should be complete up to my summit. So that after 2027, now we expand it to include the section from my summit to Eldoret, to Malaba, and the other section will go through Kericho into Kisumu, again into Uganda. So, and there are many other parts of the country we are building dual carriageways. because we need enough resources to build enough roads. In 60 years, we have only done 22,000 kilometers of roads. Very little. Japan has also had a roads building program for 60 years, just like Kenya, has done 1.1 million kilometers of roads in 60 years. We've done 22,000. So we are expediting the development of Kenya. More roads. We are expanding Nairobi, Mombasa. And the first section, we have money now to build the first section from Machakos Turnoff all the way to Emali. The president will be launching in February the expansion of Mombasa Road into a dual carriageway. We have others, and you heard him mention all the roads, including the road to Namanga, and so forth. We need more roads as part of our hardware of our country. Water is not enough. You have heard what the governor of Uasin has said, my home governor. He's saying we need, as Eldoret assumes the role of a city, we need more water. The president has said we need resources to build 50 megawatt dams, 200 mid-sized dams, and over 1,000 smaller dams in the shortest time possible. Water, drinking, water for irrigation, water for sewerage, and we need to irrigate a new 2 million acres to remove this embarrassment of hunger all the time and famine. There are countries where they don't receive a drop of rain, but you'll never hear famine or hunger. They have food. So for a long time, we have confused rain and water. The two are not connected. You can even have no rains, but you have water. And so more water, more electricity, more roads. The railways, we are now doing the railway line 2B and 2C. One line will come through Eldoret, Malaba. The other one will go through Bomet into Kisumu, all the way to Malaba. And because we have oil in Turkana, we need also to extend into Lokichar to be able to transport the oil. We are building a new airport at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The one we have is old. We want to move the number of people coming through Jomo Kenyatta International Airport from 8 million currently to 100 million, so that we can match airports like the Dubai International Airport. Where do we get money from? We are looking at public-private partnerships. We are also looking at privatization, where we reduce the stake that government has in some of the strategic assets, but use that money not to pay salaries, not to pay recurrent expenditure, but put that money to build dams and roads and modernize our country the shortest time possible. So that project of building the hardware of our country is on course. But there is a second pillar of our transformation, and that is the software of Kenya. Because as much as we want to build a modern Kenya with modern infrastructure, as much as we want to have human capital, great engineers and researchers and professors who will give us good research outputs to transform our country into the first world, those engineers, those doctors, and all those experts and researchers must be ethical people with some form of humanity. And that's why we need to promote the software of Kenya. Our ethics, our values is as important as the roads, the water, and the electricity. Nataka niseme ya kwamba ili nchi yetu iendelee, tunaendelea kujenga barabara, mabawa ya maji, kuweka stima, na mambo ya kisasa ikiwemo maneno ya internet, lakini lazima vile vile tujenge taifa letu kwa mambo ya kifamilia, mambo ya kiutu, tuwe na watu wazalendo. Those values in Article 10 of our Constitution, patriotism. You can love your country even if you don't like particular people. Those two things are not connected. You may not like me as a person, but the love for the country should be able to persuade you not to do some things for the sake of our motherland. Those national values like patriotism, human dignity, respect for others, human rights, we need to teach our children so that you don't have engineers who are committing suicide because of stress. You want an engineer who is at peace with himself, with the family, and with the community they live in. And therefore, this is the commitment of the government of Kenya, that as much as we build the hardware of our country going forward, we want to invest more resources now in building the software of our country, promote good morals, because children who are intellectually gifted but they have poor morals are headed nowhere. They end up being useless people, struggling with suicide thoughts, struggling with their own personal identity issues. So we need to invest more resources in nurturing patriotic, culturally sensitive, upright children who can take over the development of our country when we face out with the adults. And therefore, now that by the grace of God, under the leadership of President William Ruto, we have found innovative ways of easing pressure on our budget so that as we build more roads and provide water and electricity, we don't have to rely all the time on the budgets and the taxes of the people of Kenya. We can use PPP. We can use privatization. As we ease pressure on our budget, we are going to increase the allocation to the ministries and the state departments that help us build the software of our nation, because the software is as important as the hardware. Because if you have upright children, patriotic children, well-educated, and then you have good infrastructure, you have a successful country. Look at all the successful countries of the world. The economic superpowers of the world. They not only have modern infrastructure, they also have a very strong love for their countries. They are very patriotic, very protective of their nation and the values for which their nations are established. They could have differences. Maybe some of them do not vote for a particular government, which is okay, in their right, but there are things they will never do. They will never destroy the country. They will never destroy the infrastructure of the country. They will never endanger the security of the country, because the country is superior to all of us. So going forward, good people, we are going now to use the national budget a little more, in a more flexible manner, because we have found ways of easing pressure by finding alternative, innovative funding models for our infrastructure, so that we invest now in the software of the nation, national values, human dignity, family values, protecting our children from negative cultural practices, protecting families, fighting gender-based violence, establishing a culture of respect for one another, men and women, children, and promoting coexistence